UK consumer sentiment plunges. What's behind the three-year low? Deloitte report analysis. UK consumer confidence takes a significant hit for the first time in nearly 3 years. In a striking revelation, a recent survey by Deloitte has indicated that British consumer sentiment has experienced its most significant decline in almost 3 years. This downturn, reported on July 21, 2025, highlight the growing concerns among consumers regarding job security, a sentiment that has been increasingly prevalent in recent months. According to Deloitte, the Consumer Confidence Index fell by 2.6 percentage points, landing at 10.4% for the second quarter of 2025. This marks the lowest level recorded since the first quarter of 2024. But here's where it gets controversial. This decline is particularly noteworthy as it is the first substantial drop since the third quarter of 2022, a period when inflation surged to double digits and financial markets were shaken by the budget proposals of former Prime Minister Liz Truss. Although there was a minor decline of 0.2 points last year, Deloitte did not consider it statistically significant. Celine Fenech, the lead for consumer insights at Deloitte, stated, "The apprehensions surrounding a slowing labor market have left consumers feeling uneasy about their job security and the potential for income growth. Additionally, ongoing inflation and the rising cost of living have adversely affected attitudes towards personal debt. Businesses have pointed fingers at increased employment taxes and a higher minimum wage that came into effect in April. They also cite upcoming legal changes that will make it more challenging to dismiss new employees as factors contributing to their hesitance in hiring." Recent official statistics revealed that the unemployment rate in Britain rose to 4.7% in the 3 months leading up to May, marking the highest level since 2021. Concurrently, inflation climbed to 3.6% in June, the highest it has been since January 2024. Interestingly, the findings from Deloitte present a somewhat different narrative compared to the GfK survey, which is the longest-running consumer sentiment survey in Britain. While GfK's results showed a decline in the latter half of last year, they rebounded to their highest level since December in the most recent month. Deloitte's survey, which included responses from 3,200 consumers between June 13 and June 16, assessed various factors such as job security, job opportunities, income, debt, children's welfare, and overall health and well-being. In a separate inquiry regarding the state of the economy, there was a 3.9 percentage point increase in its balance. However, this figure still remains 18.4 percentage points lower than it was a year ago. And this is the part most people miss. Despite the slowdown in activity across the UK in recent months, a rise in business confidence, as indicated by the latest Deloitte CFO survey, suggests that there is still resilience in the market amidst ongoing geopolitical uncertainties. As we reflect on these findings, it raises important questions. How do you perceive the current economic climate? Are you feeling the impact of these changes in your daily life? We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Britons worry about future tax rises. Consumer confidence drops. Brace yourself. British shoppers are growing uneasy, and it all comes down to the fear of looming tax hikes that could hit their wallets harder than recent price surges ever did. That concern has nudged the nation's mood a little lower. The latest GfK Consumer Confidence Index slipped 1 point in July to 19, firmly below zero and deep in pessimistic territory. In other words, households still feel markedly gloomy about the economic landscape, though not quite as discouraged as some analysts expected. Economists had penciled in a reading of -20. But here's where it gets controversial. Even with wage growth edging up and inflation gradually cooling, Britain sense rougher seas ahead. The survey's gauge of how people view the UK's overall economic performance over the past 12 months dropped to -44. Expectations for the year ahead fell by another point, signaling that many believe the next chapter could be even tougher. Zoom in on personal finances and you'll find a mixed picture. On one hand, households rate their own money matters slightly better than they rate the national outlook, yet the score remains negative, a reminder that pay packets still feel pinched. On the other hand, the savings index ticked upward, suggesting more people are plucking cash to take advantage of higher interest rates, or simply building a buffer in case taxes climb in the next budget. Neil Bellamy, Consumer Insights Director at GfK, summed up the public mindset. Consumers are essentially in a wait-and-see mode. And this is the part most people miss. When people hesitate, they often hold back on big-ticket purchases, which can slow growth across multiple sectors. Bellamy warns that speculation over autumn tax increases, combined with ongoing price pressures, could make an already fragile outlook even shakier. Intriguingly, a separate release from the Office for National Statistics shows retail sales rebounded 0.9% in June. A heat wave enticed Britons to spend more on food, beverages, and summer essentials, temporarily masking deeper anxieties. Yet some economists caution that one warm month doesn't erase the broader trend of cautious spending. Potential flashpoint. Are higher taxes the only answer to plugging fiscal gaps, or should the government focus on spurring growth and trimming expenditure instead? Critics argue that fresh tax burdens could stifle household spending just when the economy needs momentum. Supporters counter that responsible taxation is vital to fund public services and manage debt. What's your view? Do you think the fear of tax increases is overblown, or do you foresee it dampening consumer confidence for the rest of the year? Could a hot summer and solid retail sales soften the blow, or is that merely a sunny blip before darker clouds roll in? Share your take in the comments. Agree, disagree, or offer a fresh perspective. UK consumers save more amid economic uncertainty. British consumers are saving more as they brace for potential tax hikes and economic challenges, according to a recent GfK survey. The Consumer Confidence Index dipped slightly to -19 in July, indicating a cautious mood among the public. But here's the surprising part. GfK's savings index jumped 7 points to +34, its highest level since November 2007. This suggests that people are preparing for tougher times ahead by building up their savings. The news is worrying, as speculation grows over possible tax rises in the autumn budget, and price pressures contribute to higher inflation. Official retail sales data for June is expected to show a rise in sales volumes, but the overall picture remains uncertain. What do you think about the current state of consumer confidence in the UK? Do you agree with the government's approach to taxation and spending? Let us know in the comments below.